Good morning, everyone. Welcome to YOGALATES. My name is Kassandra, and this is going to be a mix of yoga and Pilates, a full morning yoga sequence for strength, balance, and flexibility. I would say this is more of an intermediate level practice. However, you do not need to have any prior Pilates experience. I'll break everything down. So we're really going in and out of some yoga poses, some Pilates exercises to just give ourselves a boost of energy in the morning. No props required. You'll just notice I do have a little foam. It's just because my tailbone is sensitive and the hardwood floor is very hard. But you don't need anything like that at home, just your body, your mat, and you are ready to go. So let's start lying down on our backs as if we were, coming into Shavasana. Take up some space with your arms and your legs. Shrug your shoulders down and away from your ears. And just take a few breaths in and out through your nose, letting yourself get really heavy on the mat here. These morning classes can be a great way to set the tone for the day ahead. Taking care of ourselves and focusing on what we need. And I don't want to linger here too long in case you do fall back asleep. So let's just pull our right knee in towards our chest. Keep that left leg straight, really reach out through that left heel, and we'll carry this over into a twist. So your right knee will cross over the body, over towards the left side of your mat. I like to reach my right arm out to the side just to help encourage my shoulder blade to stay in contact with the floor. So nice spinal twist. Think of drawing your lower belly in and up. One more big deep breath here. And as you exhale, come back to center with your knee to your chest. Hold onto your leg here and curl head and shoulders off of the mat. You're going to float that left leg off the mat at a low diagonal for single leg stretch. So we're going to inhale to squeeze that leg in a little bit more and go ahead and switch. Breathe in again. And then exhale to switch and exhale to switch. Let's do that a few more times. So inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. 3 more. One more breath cycle. In, and out, out. Hold here and go ahead and lower the leg, lower head and shoulders off of the mat. Knee to chest, stretch it out, and we're ready to do the same thing on the other side. Cross over into a twist. Your left knee moves over to the right, and you can reach that left arm out to the side. So chest and collarbones face up, trying to stack our left hip over our right one. Reaching your left hip and your left shoulder in opposition. One more big breath in here. And we'll come all the way back through to center. We'll redo our single leg stretch sequence here. So curl head and shoulders off of the mat, push your lower back into the floor, and maintain this even as you lift that right leg up to this low diagonal. So inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Keep going. Think of lifting the shoulder blades off of the mat, really stretching at the back of the knee. Two more cycles. Last one. In, out, out. Let's bring both knees in towards the belly. Big squeeze and release. Coming up into our bridge pose. Feet are hip width distance apart. Flat on the mat. Shrug your shoulders down and away from your ears. Push your feet into the floor and squeeze up as you lift your hips as high as they can go. Think of hugging through the inner thighs, pushing into your big toes. Relax your shoulders and your neck here, even your facial muscles. And rolling all the way back down. Let's find reclined pigeon pose. Cross your right ankle over the top of that left knee, and you can pull that thigh in towards your belly. Keep head and shoulders relaxed here. I like to rock a little bit side to side, just inviting a little bit more of an opening through that right hip into the glute. And let's release, recline pigeon to the second side. So left ankle over the top of your right knee. Reach through with your hands and pull that right thigh in. No tension here. And we'll release. Straighten both legs out in front of you and flex your feet. We're going to take a roll up to come up to seated. So one of the more essential Pilates movements. Flex your feet, active through your legs, arms reaching up towards the sky. We're going to inhale, lift head and shoulders, and then exhale, come all the way up and keep rounding forward as you reach through your arms. And coming all the way back and release. For spine stretch forward, very similar to the motion that we've just done. Widen your feet towards the edges of the mat. So spine stretch forward, I want your spine to be stretching up nice and long. If you feel like you're rolling back, do this with bent knees. Your legs do not need to be perfectly straight. Arms extend out parallel to the floor. As you inhale, think of lifting and lengthening up. And on the exhale, tuck chin to chest, roll down as if you're rolling down against the wall, as if you're trying to bring the crown of your head down to the mat, and stretch your arms forward. Keep the arms up parallel to the floor. And then inhale, peel yourself back up with control. Lifting up, exhale, lowering and stretching forward. Inhale, peeling it back. Tall spine. Exhale, curl in, draw the lower abs in and up. Last one here, exhale. And coming all the way back up through to center. Let's make our way onto hands and knees. I'm just going to move my little foam pad off to the side here. Setting ourselves up for bird dog. So from tabletop pose, you want to have your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to bring our right elbow and our left knee in together to touch. As you inhale, straighten and reach out. Really feel that length. And as you exhale, round and contract, bring it into the center. So inhale, a little bit of a back bend here as you open. And then exhale, reverse and contract. 3 more here. Last 2. Last 1. Hold where you are. Bring that right hand down and we're going to step the left foot forward in between hands to the top of the mat, setting ourselves up into our low lunge. The knee is directly over top of the ankle. Shrugging your shoulders down and away from your ears. Just let gravity pull your hips down a little bit lower. And we'll add a little prayer twist to our low lunge. So you can lift yourself up a little bit, hands at the heart. Option 1 is just to rotate and stay up here. If you'd like, you can progress further by bringing the elbow to the top of the thigh. With this option, I'm trying to lift and keep the twist and keep my hands towards the center of the chest. And I'm trying to roll my left shoulder back. So big spinal rotation. Looking down towards the mat, we're going to transition from here into our side plank. So right hand will come down to the mat, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the floor, and send that left leg back. Think of arching and finding a little bit more of a rainbow shape here as we lift the hips up. So in Pilates, they would call this side bend pose rather than a side plank. Think of lifting up a little bit more. And continue to circle down so that you're now in your plank. And we're going to lift our hips up and walk the hands to the back of the mat. Rolling all the way up to stand. Take your time. Head and shoulders are the last to come up. And we'll take 2 rounds of what is called push-up prep in Pilates. So stand up nice and tall, tuck your chin to your chest, and roll down nice and slow. And then walk your hands out into your plank pose. Either hold plank or give me 1 push-up, down and up. And now pike the hips back as if you were doing down dog, and walk your hands to the back of the mat just like we did before. And roll all the way up to stand, inch by inch. 1 more, just like this. Tuck chin to chest, roll it down, draw the core in here. Walk your hands out to plank. Either hold your plank or do 1 push-up. Pike the hips up. Walk the hands back and just hold here. So ragdoll fold, you can widen your legs towards the edges of the mat, maybe bend your knees a little bit more generously, holding onto the elbows as you sway a little side to side. Relax your neck, relax your head. And let's find Malasana, our squat, so heels in, toes out, bend into the knees. You can use your elbows to push your knees open a little bit wider, hands at the heart. Really straightening through your spine. 1 big breath in here. And we'll find our tabletop pose, repeating the sequence over on the second side. Palms under shoulders, knees underneath your hips. This time, left elbow and right knee will come into the midline. So inhale, really open up and expand. Exhale, use core strength to draw it into the center. 3 more here. Last 2. Last 1. Hold when you're up and go ahead and bring that left hand down. Step your right foot through in between your palms to the top of the mat, finding your low lunge. And I'm just framing my front foot up onto my fingertips, drawing my shoulder blades down the back. Very minimal effort here. I'm just letting my hips sink down, getting deep into the hip flexors. And then we'll make the pose a little bit more active by adding the prayer twist. So you start by lifting yourself up, hands at the heart, and maybe just rotate and stay up nice and high. Or you can bring that left elbow to the top of your right thigh. Rather than sinking down towards our leg, think of pushing the elbow against the thigh in order to bring our hands a little bit more towards the center of the chest. And this will help you twist a little bit deeper into the pose as well. Keep melting those hips down. Looking down towards the floor, coming into either a side plank or your side bend, depending on which methodology you're using. Left hand comes down, back knee lifts up, and we're gonna step that right foot back, maybe stacking one over the other, and really think of arching and finding like a little rainbow shape with your body, rather than being in a traditional side plank where we're all in a diagonal line. Here, really lift, reach that arm up overhead, and continue to circle the hand down so that you find your plank pose, and right away we pike the hips up, we walk our hands back, and we roll all the way up to stand. And we'll do 2 more of those push-up preps. So tuck chin to chest, roll it down inch by inch. Walk it out. See if you can walk it out into 4 steps with your hands, finding your plank. And maybe you take a push-up or you just hold your plank pose, piking the hips up and back, walking the hands back also in 4 steps. And rolling up, you can absolutely bend your knees as you do this. Last one. Rolling down and walking it out. Push up. Variation of down dog as we pike the hips up and walk. Hold here in your ragdoll fold. So I'm going to widen my feet towards the edges of the mat. I'm going to bend my knees a little bit. And I'm going to grab a hold of my elbows, my upper arms, just letting myself sway a little bit side to side. Instead of coming into our malasana, our squat pose, release your hands down and come all the way back up through to center. So lifting up tall, and we'll find our warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. So my right foot steps to the top of the mat. My left foot is parallel to the shorter edge of my mat. Bending into that right knee, squeeze it open, and really think of keeping your shoulders directly over the top of your hips. Let's interlace our hands behind our lower back, shrug the shoulders back, really squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the knuckles off of your tailbone. Humble warrior, dive down to the inside of that right leg. Lifting the knuckles up and over. We're not here forever. Stay strong through the legs. Push the feet into the floor. Come all the way up, really strong. Straighten your right leg. Bring the back foot in a couple inches into our triangle pose. Right hand will slide down, left arm extends up. I'm just holding here for another breath or two. I do have a cat here now. Just the magic of cutscenes. Think of lengthening out. And now look down to the mat if you weren't already. Start to bend into your front knee, framing that front foot. Find your plank pose, avoiding any animals in your way. And we are going to lower down onto our belly all the way down. So lowering your push-up. And we'll come into single leg kick from Pilates. So come up onto your forearms and make some fists. Really think of lifting up through your chest, pushing down into your pubic bone. I want you to lift and tone the lower abdominals off of the mat. So single leg kick, we're gonna bend the right knee and kick twice. So it's gonna be kick, kick, stretch, kick, kick, stretch. So you're just alternating. If you don't engage your core when you do this, it's just gonna feel like flopping your legs, and it's not going to feel like the strengthening work that it really is. So kick, kick, stretch, kick, kick, switch. So keep your chest lifted and really squeeze through your hamstrings. This is all about strengthening through our hamstrings, strengthening through our seat, and working the core. For 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Let's come down into little baby cobras. Push into the tops of the feet. As you inhale, chin, chest, and palms lift off the mat. And exhale, lowers back down twice more, just like this. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And release. Let's find downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under. Press your hips up and back. And really stretch it out here. So any movements that feel good to help get your heels a little bit closer towards the mat as you reach your chest towards your thighs. And we've been walking our hands to the back of the mat, so let's switch things up a little bit. This time we're gonna walk our feet to the top of the mat. And you're gonna roll all the way up to stand. Setting ourselves up for warrior 2 on the second side. So left foot is forward, right leg, right foot steps to the back of the mat. As you bend into your left knee, make sure it's driving over that second and third toe, and extend out with your arms. Rolling that right shoulder back, pressing that left knee open. Interlace your hands the more unusual way, so you have your other thumb on top. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, straighten the elbows, and let's dive down. Humble warrior. Knuckles reach up and over. Keep bending into that front knee and pushing into your back leg. Use the strength of your lower body to come all the way up. Straightening your front leg, bring those back toes in a couple inches. Release the hands, coming into your triangle pose. So my hips go back. I'm reaching my left arm forward and then down. Right arm extends up to the sky. This is Scarlett. She's very affectionate, as you can probably tell. Take one more big breath in here. Really reach out through your arms and start to look down at the floor so that you can bend into that front knee and keep circling that right arm. We find our plank pose, so left foot steps back. I don't know why you always come underneath me when I have to do this. Plank pose and lower all the way down. So elbows in, and let's come back into that single leg kick. So up onto your forearms, make some fists. Super important again, guys. We're drawing the lower belly in and up. So my hip bones are still on the mat, but I'm toning the navel back. And then I'm gonna kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. Staying lifted. And as much as possible, trying not to change anything through the upper body. Kick, 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 kick. For 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Back into those little baby cobras. Push into the tops of the feet so the lower body is now not engaged. It's upper body only. Inhale, chin, chest, and palms come up. Exhale, lower it back down. Twice more like this. Inhale, squeeze and lift. And lower. Last one. And release. Let's press back, downward facing dog. And this will be our last opportunity to come into down dog. So do any little movements here that feel good. Stretching out long through your arms, your legs, your spine. And let's bring our knees down to the floor. We're gonna set ourselves up for teaser. So I'm gonna grab my little foam because this does require us to be on our seat, on our tailbone. So we're gonna start lowering down on the mat. And we're gonna do this one leg at a time. Scarlett's gonna help. So start with your knees bent and glue the legs in towards one another and just straighten your right leg pointing through your toes. Reaching the arms up overhead. You don't want to have your heels in too close towards your seat. This will actually be a lot harder. So widen a little bit further away. Push your lower back down into the floor and draw that lower belly in. So very hard to do this and talk at the same time, but we're going to inhale to tuck chin to chest, and we're gonna lift all the way up until we have our arms parallel towards that right leg. Really stretch at the back of the knee. And then we exhale, curling all the way back down with control and coming back to that first position, not collapsing on the way down. So we're gonna do 3 times on this leg. So join me when you're ready. Inhaling up. Proud chest. And we exhale with control all the way down. 2 more. Hugging into the midline and lowering down. Last one. Hold at the top. If you want to challenge yourself, go ahead and lift that left leg up to join it. Bend both knees this time and let's lower down. And we'll do the same thing to the second side. So this time, straighten the left leg, point through your toes. Again, push the lower back down, engage through your core. Find the length through your spine and through your arms. Inhale, chin to chest. Lift all the way up. And lower down, really roll and contract to lower. Twice more. Proud chest at the top, arms parallel to the left leg, and lower, scooping the abs. Last one. Holding at the top, maybe you'd like to do both, similar to what we would call boat pose in yoga. And now both knees will bend, feet flat to the floor, lower all the way back down. With control, stretch your arms overhead, your legs out in front of you, lengthening fingers to toes. And let's come into a laying spinal twist. So you can bend your knees, feet flat to the floor, open your legs out, or your arms out, sorry, into a little cactus shape. You can move your hips a little to the right and just let both knees and thighs drop down to the left. Slowing down our breath and our heart rate after this powerful morning flow. Let's lift the knees back up through to center, and we'll switch sides. So hips go over to the left and drop the legs down to the right. Really think of pushing that left hip down. One more big breath in here. And generally, when I do morning classes, I don't like to do a Shavasana. I just don't want you guys to fall back asleep. So instead, just continue to roll over onto your right side and use your hands, your arms to lift yourself up, coming to take a seat. And we'll just take a little hip stretch here, coming into a seated pigeon pose. So you can cross your right ankle over the top of your left knee with your hands back behind you and bend your left knee as much as you'd like to bring that leg in towards your chest, and you can walk your hands in to meet it. Just rocking a little bit side to side. And let's slide that left leg out. We'll switch. So cross left ankle over the right knee, really flex through that foot, and then bring that leg in, walk the hands in. Try not to round too much through your spine, and also no slouching through your shoulders. Stay lifted and tall. And let's release, come to take a seat any way that is comfortable for you here. I'm just doing cross-legged. We'll take a little side body stretch. Left arm extends up overhead. Think of pushing down into your left sit bone, into your left hip. She's got a lot to say today. Coming all the way up, let's switch sides. Right arm up overhead. And back through to center. Let's bring our hands together at the heart, closing how I usually close my yoga classes. We're going to inhale to chant Om. Breathe in deep. Inhale. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing this yoga and Pilates fusion class with me. I would love to know what you think about this style of class. It's fairly new that I've started adding these classes on my channel. So I'll link to the other ones that I have down below if you wanted to give those a try. Please subscribe, and hopefully we'll practice again together very soon.